Yeah, hi. I'm sitting here with Christian from Square Enix and IO Interactive, I guess, to talk about the new Hitman game, Hitman Absolution. 47 is betrayed by his own agency, and I had this idea that this might be usually in character development of a serious kind of an end point or coming to an end of an arc, of a character arc. Is this the case in Absolution 2? Where is he developing to?
Well, I mean, the story arc in Absolution is definitely one of 47 acting a lot on his own. He needs to find out how to protect the girl called Victoria, so that's definitely new. I don't see it as an ending of an arc necessarily, and I think if you look at how the stories were created for all the previous Hitman games, we're actually quite free to go backwards and forwards in time, and we can do whatever we want basically. In this case, we just we deal with the situation sometime after Blood Money, and that's where this story takes place. But I don't see this as closing down what could happen after Absolution.
This character you're talking about, what was her name?
Victoria?
Victoria. She was his wife, his girlfriend. Can you tell me more about her?
Well, part of Hitman Absolution is figuring out who she is. But very early in the game you get assigned this role of trying to keep her out of harm's way. And that's basically a new situation for 47.
Okay. Yesterday and in articles I've seen some pretty great looking locations you have on the game. Like Chinatown level and Chicago library, I think. How many regions are featured in the game, and is 47 like a Bond-like traveler around the world nowadays?
Well, the game is mainly set in the US, so that's where most of the action will be going on.
And you can't tell me more about the other locations?
Sadly, I cannot at the moment, no.
Okay, cool. What do you think, how long will the single player mode taking to be played through?
Well, we don't have any official time to say, but I can tell you that it's a substantial story mode. There's a lot of stuff to dig into, so it's going to last quite a while. And then on top of that, we obviously also have contracts where you can actually go back and create your own hits.
Yeah, then let's talk about contracts. I had a question to this one too. I think that the new contract mode where you can create your own hits, shape your own missions by just playing them, is a very clever interaction mode for people to come together and play this game. Where came the inspiration for this?
Well, there was a lot of talk on fan sites about how to build your own hits, or how to come up with other ideas for killing, characters that weren't necessarily main targets in the old games. And a lot of that stuff made a lot of sense to us. So we started looking into how can we find a way where people are they're able to come back to a place they've revisited in Absolution and do a hit. So what we showed was revisiting the library that we've shown before, but this time where you have a hit on Sergeant Meyer. And that really changes the library, so now it's about, you're not trying to evade the police to get away from them, you're trying to sneak in on the Sarge in the middle of the room and then get out after you completed the contract. But also, for us it meant that we needed to really think about how do you actually create a contract in a way that's fun. And we really wanted to do something different than a level editor. We really wanted to be entertaining and giving you constant feedback on whether this was is it a fun contract or can other people even complete it. So that's where we came up with play to create, which basically means that you go in there, you play, and as you mark your targets, whatever happens to you, whatever you do, will shape that contract. And in the end, that means that if you were unseen in the contract, well, other people would have to be unseen if they want the bonus condition for that. And also, they know that you did it in the first place. So there's sort of a sanity check here that, hey, if you can do it, well, maybe I can do it as well. But you didn't do something that was completely impossible.
You're always building on set levels for this one, pre-set levels, I think. My first question would be, do you have any plans maybe to give the fans, the players, the chance to variate these levels, to change them in their pretty architecture? And the other one is, how many possibilities are there with a preset level to variate one level? Have you any statistics on this?
Well, I don't think we have statistics on how it's done, but if you take just an example, if you take the E3 library that we showed, where it's a pretty big arena, if you will, for fun, and there are quite a lot of characters in there. I don't have the exact number, and the thing is, it also varies based on the difficulty level you play the game. Because one of the things we really wanted to do also to increase the replayability in the game is that for each difficulty level we will actually add more NPCs, more police and more patrol paths for you to learn. And that actually means that if you play contracts, if you think about it, every one of these police officers could be a potential target, and you can take up to 3 of them as a target in a contract. So if you start just combining them and saying, okay, take this guy, then this guy, or you have to do it this way, you can't use a disguise. There's a lot of different possibilities. I don't know, the math is probably pretty crazy. And that's just a very tiny little section of the game, right? We also showed the Shangri-La area with where the hippies have been busy. And also there, depending on who you kill first, what do you do, who do you mark, how many do you mark? It really, there's quite a few possibilities.
Maybe endless.
Close to it at least.
You also had once the idea to give the players the possibility to shoot one another at the same time being in a level, maybe a mode inspired like something like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
You're talking about whether there will be we're not planning any synchronous multiplayer modes for Hitman Absolution. We really wanted this. I don't know how to put it. As we said before when we talked about this, we really said that 1847 works alone, and in a sense we're still doing that. And we really wanted to create something that's close to what we believe the Hitman franchise is about. This I don't know how to put it. If you play this, if you play in create mode, it almost feels like you're playing this reverse murder mystery. Like you're like this, you're like a novelist going, okay, if I was supposed to kill someone here, how would you do it and get away with it? Because you haven't done anything bad yet, but you're just about to. And that's really something we wanted. This whole keeping the integrity of the game, basically.
Yeah, it's important to keep the label and the franchise is strong and distinct from other ones, I think.
I think in terms of, if you think about it, what we also introduced is the concept of competitions that are, you can either do them with where you invite your friends, or you can also have open competitions where any player can just join and start trying to beat the leaderboards on this contract. And when you enter competitions, the more players who are actually in a competition, the more that will be worth in terms of trophies. And the more trophies you earn, the higher you rank on the assassin leaderboard to be the deadliest assassin. So obviously, if you take part in some of the very big, community competitions, that will earn you a lot of skill points, if you will.
Let's skip one question and going to this one. I have a question about the instincts mode. You have like an on-screen help. You see the instinct of 47, seeing enemies marked, and depending on the difficulty level, you see less help.
Yeah.
My question is. You have 5 difficulty levels in the game, and how do you get the difficult levels right to one another? Must be balancing how to go 5 difficulties. Maybe it's 5 times the balancing than other games.
Well, as I mentioned, just the fact that we have additional NPCs per difficulty level makes it fairly complex to do. It's pretty ambitious to do that. A part of how we do that is by having a lot of tests. We have a lot of people coming in and playing the entire game on different difficulty levels, and we can sort of see how they're faring, and we also get their comments on, is this too hard? Is it too easy for you? What would you like? And try to find the balance between, how much do you want to guide the player? Because some people, coming in casually just wanting to play the game. Well, one of the things we do is also we invite a lot of people to I/O to actually play the game. They play the entire game, and then they give us feedback on how did it feel, and we can also kind of see how did they fare. Did they die a lot, or did they get frustrated? And there's a lot of different ways you can get challenged in a game, right? If you can't find out what to do, then that's not good. Or if you feel that the AI is too unforgiving, that's not good. But on the other hand, people also really want to be challenged, and that's really, really important for us. Finding the right challenge level where you're just on the limit of your skill. And I think with the different levels between normal to purist, I think a lot of people will find their match, if you will.
Okay, 2 questions left. This one is maybe a little bit controversial. The earlier Hitman games were at that time considered pretty much gore, brutal compared to other games. But seeing nowadays games on the E3, Hitman is maybe just moderate brutality level. There's a tendency to go more brutal and gory in this industry. Have you a meaning, opinion to this?
I think I think for Hitman Absolution, I still think there is some stuff in there that's pretty brutal, if I have to say it. But I also think it's a choice. Contrary to a lot of other games, you can actually choose to be extremely non-violent in this game and only eliminate the targets that are set out for you to eliminate. And these guys are mostly bad guys, so in one way or another they had it coming. But I mean, people are free to do what they want, right? You can be quite heavy on the brutality if you want to be, and sometimes if the AI has been giving you a bad time, that's maybe what you want to do just to get some revenge. But if you want to play for Silent Assassin, then you only touch your targets, you never kill anyone else. So I think there's a good balance there. I mean, yeah.
You can do this. You can play a level and just kill the target. That's all. Every level.
Exactly. I mean, the point is that on some areas you will have a target you have to go for, and others, like if you just take the library for instance, slipping past the police there, you can do that completely unnoticed without anyone ever knowing you were there and not touching anyone.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Final question. Do you have any ideas where you want to go with 47 beyond Absolution? Maybe you have insight in a new movie or something like this?
Well, I think for me it's all about Absolution at the moment, and I think I can say is that we know it will live on. People will be creating contracts for a good while after Absolution launches. As for what's happening, I can tell you that Hitman is a very franchise that's very much alive, so stuff will happen, but I can't really talk about it.
Okay, that was a very interesting interview, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.